Well, this is fun. The Our Little Haven show, is this a sequel, installment 2, the next year, on location with Kathleen and Scott Hummel here at the headquarters, Our Little Haven.
World headquarters, buddy.
World headquarters. And this is sort of a different idea. I know we're kind of coming out of the pandemic now, but the idea was what? Take everybody here.
Yeah. You know what? We get a lot of questions of what we look like and what we smell like and what's going on around here. So we figured we'd invite our giving community and invite you, and here we are.
And I've been in some of these buildings, but not all of them. And
right.
Kathleen, this is going to be people seeing the inner workings, right? I mean, this is home base for you guys.
This is home base, and thank you for being here, Martin. We're so happy you're here. And last year you had some special friends, and I'm sure you have some this year too.
Well, Ozzie Smith, Jackie Joyner-Kersee were on the show last year in studio, this year on location.
And Louie the Bear.
And Louie was there. All I can say is I've put out some requests for this year. I never make guarantees, but I have made a request for a couple of, well, I'll just say superstar athletes, okay?
That's awesome.
Ready for the tour?
Let's do it.
We got to get up and get moved. We got to get Scott moving.
We fall asleep.
All right, let's get this tour going.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you're here, Martin. It's been a while. Gosh, have you ever been here?
I have been here, but I have never been given the full tour.
The official tour.
So the idea here is we're going to see where the magic happens, and we mean that, really, on a daily basis. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to see on the show.
Sure. Well, this is, like we like to laugh, a world headquarters of Our Little Haven. So this is the administration building, so nothing exciting over here, all the busy work and all that. But we're going to go to Keystone Mental Health Services, which is right next door. So it's a pediatric and family mental health center. And then we're going to go to Our Little Academy, which is our therapeutic preschool and day treatment. And then we're going to go behind us to our Taylor Family Care Center. That's where a lot of the case management, adoption, foster care stuff goes on. So yeah, we just want to show you around because people really don't know what it looks like. And so we thought we'd show them.
And there are a lot of great supporters who come to the events, watch the videos, and this is your opportunity to kind of see what goes on. And it makes it a little more tangible. And I wish we were all in person all the time.
Right.
But the beauty of the video is that they really kind of get to see
the
inner workings. Give me an idea from day one. If I told you that all of this would be going on, you wouldn't have believed it.
No, absolutely not. No, we opened in 1993. Just a lot of love and a lot of care, a lot of concern. So we're up to, about 300, 400, 500 kids a year now, which is disappointing, but we're just grateful and blessed to be able to be here. So that's what we're doing.
And there's so many great supporters, and you just, I mean, over the years, not only do people back financially, but you also get to meet people. I think there's like relationships involved.
Absolutely.
We were going to have some athletes maybe be part of the show, and they don't talk about the money they made, they talk about their teammates.
Absolutely. And same thing here. I mean, none of this happens without the staff, first and foremost. They're all highly credentialed, highly professional, unlike me, but nonetheless. And then people like Anthony. Anthony, who is a client, although I hate that word, but he's an alum.
He's a success story. Yeah,
and he's a success story. He's doing really well. You'll meet another family here shortly, the Dagenhart family, just this beautiful family that's doing all the right things and trying to help and love each other. And so you meet folks like that, and then of course our supporters, just brilliant, smart, generous people who are helping fill up the cookie jars and making sure some kids and families get okay. So it's pretty cool.
Well, it's great to be here. Hope you enjoy the tour. The Our Little Haven show, we'll call it On Location. All right, let's do this. Keystone is our first stop. Let's head on in and let's start this tour. Let's meet some folks and see some folks. Hey, Anthony, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Got a friend. He's been waiting in here.
A friend? What?
Yeah, come on in.
Man, where's Martin? I've been here hanging around here. Where is he at?
Man, you know how it is, man. You know how busy.
Martin.
You know how busy and important I am, right?
Right, I know you're important, but I thought you'd be here a little sooner, man. But it's all good. I'm glad you're here.
Do you dress like this on a normal day? Because like this did not come from Canton, by the way. Are you surprised?
No, it's not surprised. It looked like it may be from Hager or something like that, the actual manufacturer of the jacket. You look good, Martin.
Okay, well, thank you. It's great to see you. And you know what? You are always charitable. You really are. And you and your wife have lived all over the country, but you keep saying this about St. Louis. And we're here at Our Little Haven, which does great work on a daily basis. What's your observation of St. Louis, though, in terms of charitable work?
Well, I've said it before. You heard me say it, Martin. I've been to a lot of places, been outside the country as well. In this country, there's no more philanthropic city that I've ever been in, lived in at least 3. And, but the generosity of the people here is fantastic, it's amazing. And a lot of the organizations like Our Little Haven and how they serve foster care young people, it almost starts, I start crying because literally when you have this amount of the Cardinal baseball team, obviously Rams once here, our Blues, right? But to have the organizations that do the work with young people like this, it's an honor to be here.
When you retired, did you say to Tracy, hey, we could go back to Phoenix, not a bad place to live,
Right.
Got family in Louisiana, could live in LA, wherever. Why did you stay and you raised your kids here?
Well, one, just we didn't want to, when we lived in Phoenix, we were there 10 years, then when we got here. But we really sensed this is where God wanted us to be. And as I said, and also the fans here are, I would say, amazing because it's a great celebration when I'm out in public, but also the same level of respect when I'm out with my family as well. And those are just little things that fans may not think about, but you certainly appreciate.
And you do great work at the Spirit Church. People can check you out on Sundays. You're a powerful speaker. Were you ever preaching on the football field? And I have to know, did you trash talk? You had to trash talk a little bit. If you're in the NFL, you had to do a little bit of that, right?
No, I wasn't a trash talker. One of my good friends, Chris Carter, was a trash talker. Didn't do any preaching, but every now and then, Martin, I would lay hands on people.
Now, is it, in what way? Not the biblical sense. Are we talking like you knock somebody out?
Well, I used to fight, even as a Christ follower, and every now and then in practices, Martin, I would get upset. And I'll never forget my teammate, Eric Hill in Phoenix. He says, man, AENEAS, man, be careful now. He'll lay hands on you, right? But he was talking about some of the altercations I had gotten into.
What did it mean for you, but also maybe New Orleans, Louisiana, places you're proud of, you're from, when you got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? And a lot of people talk about, too, their parents or their uncles say, did you really meet Jim Brown or whatever? What was that moment like?
Oh, man. Well, you're starting from a person that walked on a week before the season starts his junior year in college, historical black college, Division I AA, the Southern University, and next thing you know, you're being elected, 2014, they're calling me. I thought about my parents, dad, mom, my 2 older brothers. I never had to look outside my home for a role model. I was talking about Nanny Tate, who was a lady that took care of foster care young people at the church we attended in New Orleans. But the one thing I loved about it was, my dad says this, at least, this is what my dad says. He says, when your son is playing in the NFL, people always ask you, what did your son do? He played in the NFL. He said, before you got inducted, he said, I used to say every now and then, he was pretty good. But when I tell him you're in the Hall of Fame, it ends the discussion, right? So at least my dad ends the discussion.
And when you got in, weren't you in New York? And you're on the streets of New York. Okay, yes. That's a huge city. Didn't you just run into Marshall Faulk? Like right after you got the news, you're walking, who's a teammate, a Hall of Famer from New Orleans. I mean, you talk about lightning striking. Wasn't that you guys like literally embraced on the streets of New York?
Yeah. So we'll talk about Isaac in a minute, and I can't wait to that Friday night, that gold jacket ceremony. Marshall was definitely, so I probably was up early in the morning walking and praying, and then seeing Marshall walk out the hotel. He looked like he was going to get a breakfast early. So hugging him. But the other thing was a year prior to Warren Sapp, I saw him at a function, I think at the Super Bowl. He came up to me and put his Hall of Fame ring on me. And he said, you're going into the Hall of Fame next year. And do you know, I did that to Isaac a couple of years before he got in as well. So it's kind of like a tradition I want to keep.
And you have gotten to travel the world as an ambassador for football. Correct. And then I see you're hanging with Tiger Woods, right? And didn't you say, so AENEAS Williams, okay, preacher, troublemaker. You said, how come you don't get a jacket at the Golf Hall of Fame, right?
The PGA.
So you stirred this up, right?
I stirred it up. Well, I was a spokesman from Tiger Woods. We were in the suite at the Super Bowl, who you love Tom Brady, and I know you love Belichick, who he used to play for. That's a shot.
We'll edit all that out, okay? Hey, you're the one who lost to them in the Super Bowl, not me. You should be bitter, not me. Okay.
At least I got second place. It's a silver, right?
Okay.
But
well, you love Belichick and the Patriots, and you've been up there many times.
Correct.
And have great respect for them.
But being with Tiger Woods at that Super Bowl in that suite, I had no idea. He told us that, hey, don't say anything, but I'm going into the PGA Hall of Fame next year, right? And we start talking. Derek Brooks, my fellow inductee, he and I are classmates in the hall, and I'm like, they don't give you a gold jacket? They don't? I mean, a green, some kind of jacket? He said, no, we don't hardly get anything. That's when I started to do this social media post. Hey, man, we need the PGA, we need everybody to post and like this to get Tiger Woods a jacket. And more importantly, I let him put on the ring.
And he needs a ring and a jacket. They were going to give him like a plaque or something.
Plaque.
And then he said no. Now he does have some green jackets that are kind of cool.
Right, but when I put the ring on him, that got him. That got him. It was like, AENEAS, post this for me, right?
You got the word spread. What do you miss most about being a pro player?
Wow.
I mean, nobody ever says practice. Usually guys say the locker room, like the camaraderie, right?
How about this one? I miss being in training camp.
Okay, nobody ever says that.
No one. This is the first, right? But I really love training camp. I love getting away, having already trained, did all of that. The part, I miss training camp, but the camaraderie. I'm on a group text with a bunch of guys from the Cardinals, and then all the guys just about from the Rams. And being in that 5-year window, maybe a 5 or 6 year window, having the guys win the Super Bowl prior to me getting here and become a part of that and playing in the Super Bowl, that's what you miss when you leave the game.
All right. Have you ever said to Brett Favre, when you're around him in Canton, picked you off twice in the playoffs and returned both for touchdowns, right, or knowing Brett a little bit, he might even come up and you say, oh man, you did me. Has he brought it up?
Brett and I have been knowing each other for quite some time. Remember, Martin, you may not know.
About the same years coming out, too?
Well, we were in the same draft.
Okay.
And we're the only two in that draft that are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So every time Brett and I see each other, it's more endearing. We don't talk about
that's my
intercept.
kind of
That's you,
right,
man, stirring the pot.
Right.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem. The media is the problem.
Well, not the media, Martin.
Me,
yes.
Specific to me. Hey, my guy Anthony is here, and he actually, he's got a gift for you. Anthony, come on down. Anthony is an alum here at our little Haven, now on the Board of Trustees.
AENEAS, nice meeting you. How you doing?
Mr. Williams.
Man, that's a nice jacket
Yes,
on you.
yes.
What do you got?
What you have
Well,
there?
this amazing jacket, my friends over at Series 6 wanted to gift this to you.
Really?
Yeah. How you like it?
Anthony, this is cool, but I think I'm good, man. What you think?
Well, I definitely think it'll be a great addition to the one that you have.
A little small.
A little small.
Yeah.
Right, this one.
Well, my friends over at Series 6 make sure they'll get you a size that you could fit.
I only have one question for you, Anthony.
Yes,
so
sir.
When I'm at home, if I get in trouble with my wife, Tracy, I can put the jacket on. This one is all good. Will that work the same?
Well, you can wear it when she's not around. How
All
about
right,
that?
got you. Thank you. Who's calling you, Anthony?
Oh, man. Looks like it's Isaac Bruce.
Calling
Bruce,
you?
my guy?
Yeah.
That's going into the hall?
Yeah. Hello? Hey, looking forward to seeing you today.
Today?
Yeah, he says today.
Today?
Yeah.
Isaac?
Yeah. Okay, he's over at the Lou Fuse Athletic Center.
Okay. It used to be Rams Park. That's how I know it. No,
Okay.
I'm so good. You want to come with us?
I gotta come. That's my guy. Can I say something?
Yes.
real quick?
Hold on.
Bruce!
They're not booing.
That's not booing. That's Bruce! I'll see you shortly, man.
All right. We got to go. Okay.
We gotta go.
I'm so sorry. You know me, I'm always on time. This never happens, right? This never happens.
I'm glad you can join me, man.
Game time is on time. Isn't that a phrase in football?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's good to see you. We're in the approaching days now of Canton going into the Hall of Fame.
Very close.
Does it feel more real? Isaac Bruce, Hall of Famer. Is it starting to really settle in?
It's a lot similar to what we would call pregame. So you're kind of like in the locker room right now, getting taped up, getting final, everything to run through the game plan. And it's almost showtime. So we're about 5 minutes away from going on the field.
And the gold jacket has been at the house in Florida. Are you really doing like household chores in that thing? You getting used to it?
I've been doing some household chores in it, just wearing it around. Every mirror has seen the jacket in my house. So, but it's fun, you know what I mean? It's a dream come true, and I'm very grateful for it, man.
Your former teammates, Marshall Faulk and Orlando Pace, all talk about when they get in the room and they look around and they see so-and-so and they're like, wow. Are there a couple of names, I'm thinking like a Dan Marino, are there a couple of people for you, when you see them, you're like, wow, we're in the same group?
Well, you hit it right on the head with Dan Marino. He was the guy that I watched growing up in South Florida playing for the Dolphins, and many years that he played for them. Guys like Paul Walfield, I had an opportunity to meet him. Larry Zonka, I mean, I remember these guys and those names, but just growing up a Dolphin fan and seeing the Dolphin wing of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, man, it's special.
And your bond in St. Louis has been really strong, but especially in your post-career, right? I mean, you've come back repeatedly, the team left, but you still have this incredible connection. I'm assuming you're going to reference that in Canton?
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, it's just part of my development as a player and a person. Most of those years that I had when I was 21, I got here at 22, and I didn't leave till I was mid-30s. So there's a lot of growing that happened between those years for me. And they shared a lot of great football memories with me here in St. Louis, and particularly the fans, the charities, the sponsors that I have. We developed a bond that's still growing.
How crazy was it? Those first few years, there was some struggle.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man, you can have my tickets. I mean, I would have never said that, but people might have. And then all of a sudden, it's the hottest ticket in the league.
Absolutely.
And like celebrities are showing up on the sidelines and Monday Night Football.
Right.
And do you remember it like happening like a snap, or was it, no, I paid my dues and it was bad for a while?
Well, what you could see was you could start to see the writing on the wall from that 1998 off season when we started bringing in guys like Marshall Faulk, Adam Timmerman. We drafted Torrey Holt, and you know, when you become a commodity that's in the city that becomes bigger than the St. Louis Cardinals at that time, you've actually done something, and you know you've done it from a national standpoint as well. So it was fun being a part of it. Like you said, it was one of the hardest tickets to get a hold to. And we kind of made people pay attention to the Midwest.
You spent a lot of time on these fields here, and now you come back, you're with the kids. When you're running around at your camp for the Isaac Bruce Foundation, any part of you kind of thinking 20 years ago I was out here, 23 years ago, do you think at all about running routes out here? Mike Martz never yelled at you, but coaches yelling at other players?
Well, what I think about driving into this place is, you know, hopefully no one's in my parking space, number one. Number two, am I going to be on time to participate in Frank Gantz's special teams meetings, and you know what time my meeting starts? So, you know, all of those memories start to rush back in, and they're sweet memories. And just being out here on this field again, man, there's a lot of things that transpired out here, a lot of development that happened out here. From me seeing guys develop like Torrey Holt, guys like Oz, Ricky Pro, these guys seeing them develop into the players they became, all happened right here on this field mostly.
You know, your work, your foundation is really about kids. In this get together here for Our Little Haven, they're all about kids. Tell me why that's where you want to have an impact.
Well, children are always in a growing process, so they're going to be grown-ups before you know it. My children in particular, I mean, they're 11 and 6 right now. So it's important that we who have been through certain things in life or have experienced certain experiences in life, share them and impart what we have, the gains and the wins that we have and some of the pitfalls that we may have gone through. It's important for places like the Isaac Bruce Foundation, Child Haven, what they're doing, to be there to help guide the children to the next level.
You ever get to hear from a kid years later who got a scholarship, who got a plane ticket because of you guys, and their life turned out great, and do you get that moment of like totally different than catching a touchdown, or like to get that satisfaction?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times it's in passing, and they briefly mentioned that they probably went through one of my camps, received one of my scholarships, just participating in the gala. And you know, fortunately, we had one of the participants here that's now coaching one of the groups for me today that participated in the camp not long ago, and he happens to be a sophomore in college right now. So that's what it's about for me. I mean, these guys come out, participate in this camp, go on to be productive citizens, and they show that, you know, the Isaac Bruce Foundation is a legit foundation that you can be a part of and impact the lives of others.
All right, on that note, it's the perfect time for me to step out here, and we're going to allow our guest to come in here. Scott Hummel, come on down. He's never bashful. He's not going to start now. Scott Hummel, Our Little Haven. Anthony, come on down.
Come on, Anthony.
This is perfect because we're just talking about people who were in a program and then coming back and being involved. Scott, take it away.
We wanted to tell you, and Anthony here is one of our alums. He was little bitty, now he's all big. Just finished his master's in education, and he's actually a trustee at our Little Haven now. So we're absolutely thrilled. So it's an opportunity to just be grateful and to welcome him to help lead the charge for the next batch of kids that we're working with and families. I wanted to tell you what we're doing. So because everything is just difficult. The families are complicated, the kids are complicated, the courts are complicated, the state's complicated. It's all this complication. We've been doing this for almost 30 years, and there's still a lot of days where I'm like, what are we doing, right? You just get lost in all the business aspect and the complications. So a long time ago, this gentleman gave us a story about the cookie jar, and it's what helps me understand what we're doing. And it goes like this, that we believe when we're born, God gives us a cookie jar. And during our formative years, which are roughly birth through 10, for every high five and every good grade and every hug and kiss and all our wonderful things, we get a cookie in our cookie jar. Well, actually, Anthony's cookie jar was filled up. You want to tell him about it?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Scott. So my cookie jar has been filled with God, with my amazing love of my aunt, who has eventually, as this journey is taken off, become my adopted mother, and just your amazing contribution to the Haven. I want to thank you for your contribution. I truly think that without you and so many others, it would be impossible to serve so many kids that have come through the Haven, the football camp. You can count that as a giant cookie. So I can't thank God enough for the journey that I've been on and the cookies that have been added to my cookie jar.
Well, my cookie jar is full, and Anthony just testified to his cookie jar. Most of the people we know and hang out with, their cookie jars are pretty full. Unfortunately, the kids and families at our Little Haven, their cookie jars aren't full. And so it's our role and our honor to invite the community to help us fill these cookie jars. And then out pops little Anthony's, and it's all cool. That's what you're doing, and we're grateful for that.
Very
so
nice.
Thank you.
Thanks for being you, Isaac.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're a Hall of Famer in a number of different ways. You know that, right? If only we need a jacket from our Little Haven for this guy.
Absolutely.
One day.
We'll get one.
Definitely.
Welcome back. I'm Martin Kilcoyne. The Our Little Haven show continues. We're here at Keystone with Colleen Abendroth, who is a psychotherapist. Tell us about Keystone Mental Health Services. What all does that entail?
It includes so much. We have a comprehensive mental health service here at Keystone. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm also a registered play therapist. There are 4 of us on the team that are licensed clinical social workers. We have 4 licensed psychologists that are doctorate levels. We have a nurse case manager that's also an RN, and we also have a part-time psychiatrist that comes in to see our clients.
You said play therapist.
A play
Explain
therapist.
That sounds something a little newer, which is good that they've figured out.
It's actually not that old. If you can believe it, we've been playing for a long time, and it's how we learn. And as a play therapist, I am able to use that language that kids normally use to reach them on their level through play.
How do families find out about this? How do they end up here?
Well, families end up here for a lot of different reasons. I think there's a misconception that sometimes parents come in when maybe there's been a big trauma that's happened in a child's life, or that maybe it's a family in foster care. But actually, it can be as simple as there's a new child in the family and there's another child that's having a hard time adjusting. Or maybe parents are noticing that their behaviors might be changing. They might not be wanting to go to school anymore. So we're here for a whole spectrum of needs for kids.
And how does it get paid for, the services here?
We are so unique, and I'm so thankful to work in an organization like Keystone that we accept insurance, Medicaid, private insurance. We have a sliding fee scale for the families that we see, both adults and children and families. But we also have a grant through St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Jefferson County that covers the cost of our services to make it accessible for everyone in the St. Louis area. You know,
and the team here at Our Little Haven is great. They give me some questions, ideas, but I have one that's off script, and I would love to know this for you. How rewarding is it to do what you do in this building every day with these kids?
It is really, truly amazing. It's something, I know a lot of people ask, what brought you to be a therapist? And it's one of those things that, for me, it came natural to be able to just engage with families and want to be that support for them. But Being a therapist can be tough. We hear a lot of the really hard things that families come in with, but when we're able to see even the little bit of success that a child has, it really motivates us to keep going and provide services.
What are some things that our viewers, people watching the Our Little Haven show, what can they do to help or get involved?
Well, as a play therapist, as you can imagine, my office is full of toys and they are well loved in my office. I can't just go to Target and walk down the aisles and pick anything up. So having things like gift cards to be able to replenish our stock of toys that we need as a play therapist is really helpful. But also for families that might need a little bit of assistance with groceries, or maybe they need clothing supplies or anything like that, gift cards are really helpful for our families as well.
Colleen, thanks so much for letting us crash your place of work. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming.
All right, and people watching can get involved at ourlittlehaven.org. We're coming right back from Our Little Academy.
Keystone Mental Health Services at Our Little Haven provides mental and behavioral health care for young children, adults, and families. Keystone provides comprehensive psychological evaluations, mental health screenings, developmental screenings, parenting and bonding assessments. Some of the problems addressed are depression, trauma, anxiety, grief, peer friendships, and family relationship dynamics. Our therapy areas are bright, inviting, and carefully planned to encourage hope and healing. Located in the Central West End on the campus of Our Little Haven, Keystone Mental Health Services is staffed with licensed and credentialed mental health professionals. To assist our families, a broad range of payment options are available, such as Medicaid, private health insurance, sliding fee scale, and various funds for children residing in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Jefferson County. To learn more, visit ourlittlehaven.org.
Our tour continues now. We're at Our Little Academy. Sarah Thomas is the program manager here. Thanks for having us. It's a cool looking setting. Tell us about your role, what you do here.
Well, welcome. I'm Sarah, and I'm the program manager at Our Little Academy Day Treatment. I've been here for almost 14 years, and I oversee this very unique little program.
Well, thanks for being here for 14 years. Tell us why it is so vital. What takes place here every day?
So this is a day treatment program, which means that kids come for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, year-round, for a variety of things. They come for individual therapy, group therapy, but the program itself is actually all-day therapy, a very unique thing, only one of 4 in the whole region.
And tell me about the team. You're in charge. We got a team here.
So our team is incredible. We have 4 highly trained mental health professionals who we work together more as a family, really, than coworkers. Very cohesive. We spend all of our day in this tiny little space. So we go through hard times together and we really build each other up. The days can be long and loud here. The kids here have a lot of emotional, social, and behavioral issues. There's screaming. There's violence. There's chairs being thrown all over this place. So we have to work really hard to support each other during those times.
Yeah, tell me about those challenges and getting through it, but knowing that it's the payoff and seeing these kids progress. There's got to be a great feeling of accomplishment when somebody moves on and does well in life.
Parents have described this program as Hogwarts level magic. They come to us overwhelmed, exhausted, on the brink of losing their jobs and their minds, and their kids achieve so much success with our structure and our routine and all the interventions we're able to do for them.
There's a Harry Potter reference, I believe. I should probably already know that. What are your hopes for these kids when you see them? You probably from day one and then towards the end, what are you hoping takes place?
So we have this tradition here at Our Little Academy. All year long, we take pictures of the kids and videos of the things they do, just to capture the moments that they have here. And at the end of the year, we put them up on the TV, and we have this whole video movie, and we eat popcorn, and the kids just delight in seeing themselves. And they say, I'm on the big screen. They get so excited. And we delight in seeing the progress, because when kids first come to us, they're sullen. They're sad. Those first pictures, there's no smiles. They're standing off by themselves, not with their friends. And those last pictures are arms around all their new friends, full of joy and full of smiles. And we play a song in the background. I'm waxing poetically, I'm sorry. We play a song in the background, Bob Dylan's Forever Young. And that really perfectly captures what my hopes and dreams are for this kid. Are you familiar with that song?
I know Bob Dylan, but I will Google it now and listen.
It starts, may God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. And I won't sing the whole song
I think I know
for
the
you.
Rod Stewart version.
And I'm sure there's laws about like copyright and
You're worried about ASCAP at this point. But no, I get the point. Like it encapsulates, though, the challenges, the heartache, the days where you go home, wow, this was a tough one. And then at the end, it's almost like a graduation day. Throw the cap into the air.
We do. We even give little gifts and have this big moment. So I just hope they build on the foundation they gained here at our little academy, and that they grow and they learn and they flourish, and that they meet caring adults along the way who see them for the magical human beings they are. A lot of times when kids come here, they're the bad kid. They're the kid who threw fits at daycare. They've been kicked out of multiple daycares. And we have a rule here that there's no bad kids. Every kid who comes here is a great, wonderful, magical, beautiful human being, and we see them for who they are, and we really nurture that spirit and help them believe that themselves. So we just hope that along the way, other people realize that as well.
Well, thanks for having us. It's part of our tour, and I've told you want me to go to the library. Is that right? What am I going to say? It's a beautiful library, I'm told, right?
Yes, we have a pretty small space, but we have a very exciting library on the 3rd floor, full of almost 2,000 books. Would you like to check it out?
I'm going to check that out.
Okay, let's go.
All right, what do we have here? This is the library. I'm going to check out the library. This is awesome. And what are you doing here? FREDBIRD, yay! Great to see you. It's been too long. FREDBIRD is here at our little haven. I knew there would be special surprises and guests. This is great to see you. You're busy again. Baseball is back. Fans are back. This is awesome. And I know FREDBIRD can't talk, but you can read, right? You love books. You got a book about a cat. What do you think of the Our Little Haven Library? This is pretty cool. Get a little cheer going here. This is great. Books, yes. Have you had a chance to kind of look around and see the whole place? Doing great work here. Thumbs up from FREDBIRD. You know, I'm so glad you're here because when we do these shows, we like to have special guests, occasionally surprises. Last year we had Louie on the show. The Blues mascot was our special guest a year ago in our inaugural show. First choice. Oh my God, you and Louie are really tight, I know, but you're thinking I should have called you. I didn't, so I called you second. We're going to edit all that out, okay?
Our Little Academy Day Treatment at Our Little Haven provides mental and behavioral health for children ages 3 to 5 in a preschool setting. Through structure, routine, and treatment, a child's social and academic mental health challenges are addressed through early intervention practices. Our Little Academy is one of 4 programs in the region offering such services to young children and their families, addressing challenges through individual and group therapy, social skills activities, psychiatric services, speech, occupational, and play therapy. All provided on site at Our Little Academy, located on the campus of Our Little Haven in the Central West End. Our Little Academy, a small program for small people with a big mission. To learn more, visit ourlittlehaven.org.
We want to thank the Taylor family for everything they've done for Our Little Haven, including here, the Taylor Family Care Center. That's where our tour takes us next. And I'm joined by Shamari and Eli, who are case managers here at Our Little Haven. How long, Shamari, have you been with Our Little Haven?
I've been here for about 2.5 years now.
Eli, how about you?
2 years next month.
Okay, so these folks know how it works at Our Little Haven. Case manager, for our people watching, explain what you do on a daily basis.
So on a daily basis, Eli and I work with children that are in foster care. All of our cases come directly from St. Louis City, St. Louis County, Jefferson County. So we serve a few different populations, but all of our kiddos, you know, like I said, are in foster care. So we each have our caseload and different families that we serve on a daily basis. So that can mean going to court, facilitating meetings, doing visits, and different things like that.
You know, and Eli, we've talked to people throughout Our Little Haven, and a lot of it is the work can be challenging. You have tough days, but at the end, it's kind of rewarding. Tell us a little bit about how you feel about your work.
Yeah, so I think some of the most rewarding aspects of it are getting to get to know the kids, get to know their stories, get to know their lives. And when oftentimes each kiddo has a different story, right? And so sometimes that story looks like being reunified with their families, and that's their happy ending, right? And they get to see them go back to their families, but then other times they get adopted into a whole new family, and then that's their happy ending. And so experiencing those joys and seeing the smiles on their faces and seeing them grow throughout that process, although there is trauma at times, getting the opportunity to see them be resilient through that process and survive through that adverse situation is always very rewarding.
And Shamari, where does Our Little Haven serve? We're here in the city, but it goes beyond that.
Yeah, so we serve St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Jefferson County.
So you guys are covering a wide area. And again, I mentioned this with Eli. Tell me about your work and how it can be tough, but it also is fulfilling.
Yeah, I think our work is definitely tough, but I think the fulfilling aspects, kind of like Eli said, is working with our families and our kiddos and getting them to their happy ending, whatever that is for them. And for every family, it's different. So I think, meeting our families where they are and also seeing them, reach their goals and potential.
And we've been on a tour of Our Little Haven. So here we are at the Taylor Family Care Center. We've been to Our Little Academy, the administrative building at Keystone. I sense there's like a team here. Is that kind of how you feel? You're in different groups. You got wide receivers, you got quarterbacks. Do you feel everything's football on this show? But do you guys feel like it's just a giant team that you're part of?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the best part about working for Our Little Haven as a whole is how connected as a team we feel. Even though we're in different sectors and different places, I feel like I could reach out to Our Little Academy at any point and ask Sarah a question, or if I have a kiddo that's struggling with some sort of need at a young age, throwing it her way and asking her if that kiddo could make it at Our Little Academy or benefit from the services that they could afford to the community, as well as reaching out to Keystone. We refer a lot of our kiddos to Keystone for different services, and it's just such a blessing, but also a seamless transaction to be able to help our kids and our parents as well get the psychiatric and psychological assessments that they need and different services that truly help us find the right services for them for long-term change.
Well, Eli, Shamari, thanks for having us here, but I want to ask this question. 20 years later, 30 years later, 10 years later, 5 years later, how exciting is it to see a kid come back with a success story?
It's always exciting to see our kiddos, come back to us with their success stories. I think for us, that's kind of like our aha moment, like, we did it, guys.
Well, thanks for having us. Part of our tour here, the Taylor Family Care Center, as we continue our programming here at the Our Little Haven Show. And thanks to everybody for checking out our programming. Don't forget to get involved. You can do that real simple. Look at the graphic on the screen, ourlittlehaven.org. And now we're joined by Karen and Hannah, who have a story they're going to share with you, our audience. Thanks for being here. How old are you, young lady?
8.
I should say, how young are you? This is Hannah. She's 8. Karen, I don't ask your age. I know better than that, right? We don't ask ladies their ages. But you have a great story. This is your daughter, Hannah, but it started with Our Little Haven and you getting involved. Share your story with our audience.
Well, yeah, actually, so my husband and I wanted to have kids, and we had started the in vitro process. And my husband came to me one day and said, I really feel like we need to adopt a kid out of foster care. And he was kind of tearing up. He's like a man's man. And I'm like, what? I mean, really? And he says, I feel like God spoke to me and said, this is what we need to do. So we started the classes. And after we were done, about 6 months later, it was December 2013. And I was praying. And sometimes when I pray, I listen for if I feel like the Holy Spirit is saying something to me, and I write it down. And I felt like God said, I have a gift for you. And so I wrote that down. I was like, okay, what is this gift? I thought I was pregnant, but I wasn't. And January the 7th, 2014, Our Little Haven called and said, we have a little girl for you. She's at Children's Hospital. Would you like to take her? It's like, yes, absolutely. So I started asking more questions, and I said, when's her birthday? And they said, June 5th. It's like, that's my birthday. And then I said, what's her name? They said, Heaven. I was like, okay, there's my That's
Wow.
yeah. So that's how it started. And
That's a Hollywood script right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Heaven sent on your birthday. So you have the same birthday?
Yeah.
So who? Let me guess. Who gets celebrated? Right? Mom and Dad's never get to celebrate their birthday, right?
No.
You have fun on your birthday?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that and from there, so you start by fostering, obviously.
Yeah, we did.
And then it advances.
And it advanced. We, we worked with the Bio family, and the mother just pretty much out the gate said, "I would like for you and your husband to adopt her," because she just didn't have the means to take care of her. And so we said, absolutely. We love this little girl. We felt like she was a gift from God. So
this is Hannah Heaven. Hannah Heaven.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell me about how your life has changed. And you probably don't remember those first early days, do you?
No.
Yeah, but tell me about your life. What do you like to do?
I like swimming. I like doing gymnastics, play with my friends, and have sleepovers, paint nails, and do makeup.
Oh,
and
right.
TikTok videos.
Oh, no, not TikTok videos. I might have to look at my makeup here. It needs a little powder at this point. You're tall. Do you play volleyball and basketball?
I play volleyball at my house with my dad. We go outside and we have gloves, so we play volleyball.
Well, tell me about your mom and dad. Tell me what you like about them. They probably don't get to hear you say it very often.
Well, they're kind, they're sweet. I love them. They're caring. They play with me. They cheer me up. They play with me and more. That's it.
Well, that's a pretty good list right there. Karen, what's your message to others, too, about, fostering's the first step, adoption's the second step, but fostering's a big need right now, too.
Yeah, I think people should get involved. Obviously, pray about it first and see if that's what, if that's something that God is putting in your heart to do. But, check out, let me see, we went through the county of St. Louis, I think. I just called the social worker office, and then they gave me the STARS program that was starting up in my area. And check it out and see if that's something you want to do, and just go for it. I feel like building up children and putting good things in kids is always a good thing. It's just, the best thing we can do for little ones. So.
And we've been talking with the staff throughout our tour of Our Little Haven, and we talk a lot about, and I've used the word rewarding or even fulfillment. And tell me about, for you and your husband, what it's been like.
It is so fulfilling. You would think that you're helping someone else, but really, she's helped us a lot. She's everybody's always saying, you guys are such a blessing to her, but she's really a blessing to us. She's literally everything. So it's a fulfilling thing. It's work. It's a thankless job, but I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it.
And she actually thanked you here today. We have it on tape to prove it. Next time you're mad at Mom or Dad, we're going to play that tape when you say all those nice things. Why don't you tell everybody, what do you want to do when you grow up? Have you thought about that?
I kind of want to be... I want to be that or a daycare teacher.
Daycare teacher. That's a great idea. You got a long way to go. You don't have to worry about that.
She's good with kids. I teach the children's church, the 3 to 6 year olds, and there's a couple of special needs kids in there, and she's really good with kids, little kids, and especially special needs kids. She gravitates towards them, and she just helps them, and I think she'll do good with children, maybe be a teacher or something, I don't know. But she's only 8. She's got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah. It was a bad question. Edit that out. No, Karen, thanks for sharing your story and for what you and your husband are doing. And
thanks for having
Hannah
us.
Heaven, nice to meet you. You got a really cool name. I think you're going to do special things. I'll take a little note. Boom. All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for watching. Way back in 1993, Our Little Haven opened her doors to offer specialized early intervention services to young children birth through 10 years of age who are facing crushing circumstances stemming from abuse and neglect.
Our Little Haven was founded by friends and community leaders to respond to the growing number of young children who had little to no support and who were facing a lot of obstacles.
Our Little Haven has evolved over the years. Thanks to you, we are determined to serve the kids and families who otherwise wouldn't have a chance.
And we are grateful for your loving care of these precious children and families.
Through you, our early intervention programs, delivered by highly skilled professional and credentialed staff, continue to make a positive impact on the kids, the families, and the community. We see the remarkable results that you have allowed Our Little Haven to provide through your support and encouragement.
Does it work? You bet it does. Earlier, you met Hannah and Karen, an amazing family. We were able to help because of your consideration. Now this family is able to celebrate success and growth and love. You see, those precious cookie jars get filled by you and your response to our invitation to help. It's really that simple. Kids, families, cookie jars, and community. So, you're invited to share your blessings with a bunch of kids and families who need your help. If we all pitch in, we can continue to make a remarkable impact on those kids, their families, and this community.
And thank you for your consideration. We're grateful for your support, care, and prayers. Thank you for joining us and for visiting Our Little Haven.
The Taylor Family Care Center at Our Little Haven provides comprehensive foster care case management for children in foster care. The Taylor Family Care Center offers a broad range of services and support for children and families. Serving children birth through age 21, case managers ensure that a child is safe, supported, and well cared for. Case managers are advocates for a child and work to reunify families when possible. With the support of medical case management through our pediatric registered nurse, we work to improve the health, safety, and well-being of children. Taylor Family Care Center advocates for children and families in the St. Louis region. To learn more, visit ourlittlehaven.org.
Well, it's been a great tour here at the facilities, meeting the staff, seeing the buildings. I hope people watching got a better understanding of what takes place, the work that's being done.
Yeah, it's important work, and we couldn't do it without our community, without the folks that support us, without the staff that does what they do, without the staff that does what we do. And you know, they're here to serve the kids and families, and that's what it's all about. It's pretty cool.
And it was just kind of great walking through the building. You never know who's going to be around a corner here or there. Thanks to Isaac Bruce and AENEAS Williams. This was a Hall of Fame edition. Kathleen, we'll get you one of those snappy gold
that
jackets
would be great.
at some point.
I would wear it all the time.
Yeah, if I were AENEAS Williams, I know he wore it down here. Do you think he's wearing that at Starbucks? I would.
Oh, heck yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So this was a Hall of Fame edition of the Our Little Haven show, and soon we're going to see everybody in person. That's the whole idea. But you can also get online, get involved at ourlittlehaven.org and share the video with your family, your friends. Doesn't matter if they live in Alaska or Alabama. It's never too early. It's never too late to help the kids here at Our Little Haven. Kathleen, Scott, thanks for having me.
We're glad
I'm like the guest that wouldn't leave, okay? We've been in and out of every room, every building.
You
but
do tend to linger at times, but
Everybody's
we love
welcome
you.
at Our Little Haven.
Everybody is welcome, including me, Scott, Kathleen, and to all of you watching, thanks for checking it out. Again, you can share it with your friends at ourlittlehaven.org.